Joining me today is UFC lightweight Guram Kutateladze. Guram, how are you?
Good, thank you so much. How are you, Farah?
I'm doing good. Did I pronounce your name right?
Yeah, that's right. That's very correct. Surprisingly.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear. Well, Guram, I appreciate you joining me today. I wanted, first of all, to get an update on your knee. How is your knee doing? How is your recovery? I've seen you hitting pads in your Instagram story.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's much better. It's not 100% yet. I'm still recovering and doing my rehab. So yeah, it takes some time, but it's on the right way. So yeah.
Well, that's good to hear. What happened exactly? Was it an accident in training?
I had it's an old injury. I had it maybe 1.5 year already, but in the end they start like really like locking. My knee was locking and like clicking, and yeah, I couldn't like bend it and stretch it and so on. So then doctors check it and they said, yeah, you have to do surgery. There is no other way. It's like it's not gonna get any better. And it's not like I was training hard or something like that. It was like um, just by walking it could like stuck, and yeah, so we decided to do a surgery, and unfortunately, um, yeah, everything timed like then I had to like cancel, stuff, and take care of my health instead.
Well, of course, health first. You were scheduled to fight Madge March 20, I believe, and you were forced out of that. He ended up having visa issues, so I think you may have lost your opponent anyway, even if you were going to be able to fight. I
Yeah,
don't know
that's
if
true.
you.
I heard about that, but yeah, I hope he gonna manage his paperwork, and I hope I'm gonna manage my paperwork. So, and probably soon we're gonna meet each other again, and in the octagon.
So you're also in the middle of some paperwork for your visa.
Exactly. That's what my management and Sino UFC is working on.
So you were going to have an issue if you didn't get injured. You were going to have an issue making March 20. Was that going to be an issue for you?
No, I don't think so. Probably they would make it in time. I hope so,
Okay.
but nothing is 100%, So yeah, and I think, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I hope they would make it, but now they're really working on it. So I hope we gonna make everything in time.
Nice, for sure. And you had, I'll talk about the whole Twitter thing with Paddy Pimblett, but you were talking about June. You mentioned the date June. Is that when you're hopefully or hoping that you would be able to return?
June, July, that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I should be fully recovered from my knee surgery, and will have time to prepare, get in like fight shape. But hopefully, yeah, during the summer, I will make my next fight. And yeah, about the Irishman, or I think he's from Ireland, yeah,
Liverpool, England.
Liverpool, yeah, Liverpool, England. So it's like, yeah, I he's very hyped, and stuff like this. Like all the respect to all the fighters, who, who is doing what they're doing, what we are doing, just stepping into the cage and uh, say no to a lot of things, we uh, yeah, people who does this, they understand what I'm talking about. The fight business is not easy, in reality, like anything else on the high level. So
Of
yeah, but so I decided, my management and me decided to like challenge the guy and welcome him to the octagon. But yeah, he kind of didn't like it, and or something like that, and he answered the way he did, so very insulting for me, and then then I just answer back, you know. So I tell him to stay humble, you know, until he get forced to be one. So, but after, you know, and at the time I was in Bahrain, you know, and there is like some problem, internet issues, you know, like Wi-Fi issues. So I went in at the evening and I see like there is like 30 or 40 like tweets from that guy, and I was like, okay, he went crazy, you know, and on me and on my management, on my manager Nima, you know, he wrote very like insulting things to him, you know, and it's disgusting, you know, it's really disgusting. He talk about Georgia, you know, he talk about my people, Georgian people, about my country, about war, you know, between Russia and Georgia, that Georgia deserves what happened, you know, and but after he realized that because it reflected, you know, on the people, and people start, Georgian people like start pressuring the guy, you know, like, hey, you know, that's something else. Now you're talking that it's okay and we deserve that people die, you know. This is not a joke. You don't joke about some things. There's limits to everything, you know, to these kind of things. You have to respect the country, religion, family, and stuff like that. And he deleted tweets, you know, he deleted his messages, and he kind of apologized, you know, but you have to take responsibility for what you say, and you have to take an answer, you know. And by deleting your tweets, it doesn't mean that you never said it, you know. The words you say, you know, they don't disappear just like that by deleting anything. So I hope I meet him one day, you know, in the octagon, and I can punish this person, you know, for everything he said and for his attitude. Or if my brothers from Georgia gonna meet him, depends which weight class he gonna go to. I don't think he even decided what weight class he wants to fight in. Then they gonna, you know, punish the guy. If not, then call it whatever you want. You can call it God, you can call it karma, you can call it like nature. It's gonna punish him, you know. So it's like some like it's a cultural thing, you know. Like in there in Liverpool, maybe you say like, "Excuse me," but maybe you insult somebody and they insult you back. But in my country, it doesn't exist like that. If you insult someone, and especially this kind of rude way, you're gonna get hit in your face. That's kindly said, because there is limits, you know. You have to have respect for some things, and you can't just throw the words however you want without taking any responsibility to that. And yeah, so I come from another country, you know, and you don't throw the words. You take the answer for your words, and you stand for them. And every small word has a meaning and has its own weight, and you have to be able to carry that weight. Otherwise, don't say anything.
When you called him out, this wasn't like you trash talking or anything, right? Like from the tweet I saw of yours, it seems like you just wanted to fight him, right? Like he's a fighter with a lot of hype, a Cage Warriors champion. I know you wanted to kind of add a former champion as well to your resume, like you did when you beat Mateus Gamro. So that's what it was about for you, right? Like you were just calling him out in a respectful way, right?
100%. If somebody saw something disrespectful there, then I don't know. Maybe they should read it one more time, or I just want to like welcome the guy and and kill his hype. The guy like he didn't even make one fight in UFC, and he did like interviews with the biggest podcast, biggest interviewers already. You know, like, and I understand I'm not a stupid guy. You know, UFC, you know, organization needs some guy, next guy to build on, you know, and hype him and like build him up. And probably they're gonna give him some food just right now, you know, like food fighters, so he can eat them and build his record and climb the top, you know. And but somewhere one day we're gonna meet, you know, hopefully.
So from what you understood, like he's not interested in the fight? Like, have you spoken to the UFC at all? You feel like this fight is not going to be your next fight?
It's like I think mostly I think they're gonna protect him from me. That's what I think. His management, his coaches, because that's what I think. Of course, he's a fighter, and he always gonna say, yeah, like I'm gonna fight this guy. I'm gonna fight whoever, But I know inside of his heart and inside in his head, I know how he thinks and what he's thinking about and how he thinks. He's a still kid.
And this has gotten personal for you. Like, this is unfinished business. Even if you don't fight him next, it's still a fight that you feel like you have to have.
It's something like that. I I feel this guy has to answer for his words. One or another way.
Right. I wanted to speak briefly about your UFC debut because I was there. I covered the fight and I spoke to you after it. You were disappointed. You felt like you didn't win the fight. I made sure to watch it one more time before I spoke to you. I'm not quite sure why you were so harsh on yourself, but did you get a chance to watch it again and have you changed your mind, or do you still feel like you haven't won that fight?
Mostly I'm disappointed myself. I'm disappointed for my performance, because I can do better than that. And that was an issue. And in that moment, I felt like I didn't win the fight, and I said it. And I said it before. I'm gonna always say what I think and what I feel and think is right. So that's what I did. And if I would have second chance, I mean, like if we would return the time, I would do exactly the same. Because that's how I felt at that moment, and I said it. And I wasn't satisfied with my performance, and because I didn't really show myself and my skills and everything I can do. But hopefully, my next fight gonna be different, and I can show my
Well,
full potential.
Well, it was a very humble response from you. We don't often see fighters handle a win like that. And I don't know if you saw, but most of the media scored it in your favor. So the judges scored in your favor. Most of the media had winning. So I wasn't sure if you paid attention to that. So it was a very close fight. Some people did feel like Mateus won, but it was just a great fight, right? Like, it's one of those
Yeah,
very
yeah,
close fight of the night as
yeah,
well. You guys won the
yeah,
bonus.
yeah. And I think like fight of the month too, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. But referees or some of the judges came to me after the fight and explained to me like a new rule system that they have, and yeah, they kind of make me realize, like, okay, yeah, that's kind of true. Like they explained to me about pressure, about takedowns, about octagon control, about yeah, and damage and so on. So whatever it was, whatever referee or judge told me, and explained to me, that was right. So and humble or not humble, I don't know. It was just myself. That's first of all, I have to be myself, and everything else, it's gonna come after.
Well, it was a great fight and a very tough fight for you and a tough fight for Mateus for a first fight in the UFC. I mean, we don't often see such a high level fight in terms of UFC debuts. So for you, when you look back, do you feel like an experience like that, to have that as your first UFC fight, is going to be very valuable for you in the future, to have such a tough fight? Because I feel like it's one of those things where people will realize years from now even more what a great and tough first fight it was for you and Mateus.
I think so. Absolutely, absolutely. No, it's all the respect to Mateusz. He's a good guy. He's a very intelligent fighter, and I said it not once. I said it many times. He has very high IQ, fighting IQ, and his skills too. His skill set is very wide, and yeah, good quality fighter. And of course, for myself, this is an enormous experience, and I'm very happy that I could experience that and have it in my like backpack with me. And yeah, I think absolutely people gonna talk about this fight as like them. These guys like met each other in the debut, you know, and it was like a hell of a fight. So yeah, absolutely. And in my whole career, to say the truth, I'm meeting all the time people like that. I never have the easy way or the easy fights or easy road, or it never have been like that in my life. And yeah, it's always through like struggle and suffer, but that's worth it, you know. That's I appreciate it.
Definitely. I wanted to ask you for an update on your good friend and teammate, Hamza Chimaev. We've seen him at the gym. How's he doing? What could you tell us about his recovery?
He's doing much better slowly. He's in homeland just right now. He's doing all right. He's recovering from the sickness, you know, and slowly, you know, step by step, he gonna get back soon.
He's looking at summer like you. Maybe you guys can fight on the same card.
We hope so. We hope so. We really hope so. But you know, nothing is guaranteed, as you know, and most of the things and everything almost in God's will. So if everything is right, everything falls on the right places, we really hope so that he's back during the summer and maybe like on the same card as me. So it would be like very cool, of course.
Absolutely. And Guram, I'll leave you with one last question. I appreciate your time. I saw after kind of the whole Twitter thing with Paddy, you kind of hinted that maybe you have, I don't know if you have a fight booked or that you've moved on. You said something on Twitter like that. Have the UFC come to you with any names? Maybe I'm not sure if you're allowed to say anything, but have they come to you with any offers or anything like that? Or were you just saying that you've moved on from Paddy because he seems like he's not interested?
No, I didn't move on from Paddy. The thing is always gonna be there. You know, it's not like childish thing for him. You know, like 5 minutes you're a little bit sad or mad or like grumpy, and then after 5 minutes you forget about it. It's not like that. You know, we're adult people, and yeah. But I get an offer from UFC to for my next opponent, and but just right now I'm not allowed to say the name. I didn't really talk with my manager about it, with Madge. So before I'm gonna name and throw out the names, I'm gonna keep it for myself just right now. But there gonna be a fight during the summer. So yeah, we hope for the best and
Absolutely. Well, there you go.
keep on thinking positive.
Of course. Well, Guram, I appreciate you taking the time. I'm wishing you a speedy recovery. There's an update for your fans. Hopefully, we'll see you in summer. Opponent to be determined, but excited to see that you have something in the works. And maybe, hopefully, we can see the fight between you and Paddy down the line.
Thank you so much, Farah. Appreciate your time and appreciate this interview. All the best to you. Thank you.